sharing a reading experience. I took down notes from the Meditations by Marcus Aurelius, and I'm sharing them with you now. His scrolls, he writes in, is Marcus talking to himself and was never intended for any eyes other than his own. There's only one mention of Christians in his journals, and there was no general persecution of the Christians in Marcus's time, since Christians weren't sought out. Marcus expressed contempt for the emotional ecstasy which made Christians welcome martyrdom, since the Stoic preached a rational control of all emotions. Note that sometimes Marcus sounds like a theist, and at other times a pantheist, and at times a polytheist. In whichever tone he uses, he tends to reject mere coincidence as why things are. I hope you listen and receive something worthwhile from this. Remember, these are just my notes, not necessarily a report of what the book is about, and might not even be the thoughts of the author. Rather, these are notes that I gleaned or what I thought about while reading. These notes are what caught my interest because the ideas expanded my knowledge or made me think, reflect, or ponder in some way. This video might inspire you to read what I did. It's my hope that you'll search for the best books and gain information and ideas to help you to become a better person. The more you read, the better you'll think. And the better you think, the more you'll be able to face life's challenges successfully. From Book 2, reflect on things as if death were now before you. Be a slave no longer, nor be a puppet on the strings of selfish desire. No longer let desire be vexed by your past or current lot, or peer suspiciously into the future. Rid yourself of all aimless thoughts, of all emotional oppressions of pretense, selfishness, and displeasure with your life. God exists and cares for humanity and puts within man power not to fall into real evils. Humans violate themselves when they fail to direct their actions or impulse toward a goal, but act at random without purpose. Even the most trifling actions must be directed towards the end. Life is but a struggle and a visit to a strange land. From Book 3, observe your own directing reasoning. Make sure that all your thoughts are simple and kind. Make sure you are not concerned with pleasures or the delights of the imagination, or with rivalry, slander, suspicion, or anything else that would make you blush. Contend for the greatest prize of overcoming any passion by being steeped in justice and welcoming life with your whole soul. Nothing is better than the divine spirit which is within you. That spirit brings impulses under dominion and subordinates itself to the service of God and takes thought for men. It pleases God when we overcome. You will find all things are unimportant in comparison. Choose the better part and cling to it. Never esteem as beneficial to yourself those things which would compel you to break faith, to abandon self respect, to hate, to suspect, or curse anyone or anything which requires the privacy of walls or curtains. You should not select a way of life alien to a thinking and social being. In the mind of a man whose appetites have been chastened and purified, you'll find nothing obsessed or festering, nothing servile or boastful, nothing compulsive or arbitrary, nothing that calls for an accounting, nothing hidden. Discard all that causes you to stumble into error. Cling to a few things only. Each man lives only in the present moment, not the past or an uncertain future. Small is the moment which each man lives, small too the corner of the earth in which he inhabits. Short lived men do not know themselves, let alone those who died long ago. I am both a victim and a perpetrator of crimes, the accuser and the accused. Such is the life of man. The universe is like a city community. From Book 4. External matters do not affect the soul, but stand quietly outside it, while true disturbances come from inner judgment. The universe is change, life is understanding. From this, the common city, we derive our intelligence. Intelligence comes from somewhere. Everything which happens is right. While you live, while you may become good, nothing becomes either better or worse by being praised. Nothing which happened at the right time is too early or too late for you. Since most of our words and actions are unnecessary, and whoever eliminates these will have no more leisure and less disruption. Be sober and relaxed. An exile is one who flees social principles and keeps their eyes and minds closed. Treasure little what you have. What is it which should earnestly concern us? This only: a just mind, actions for the common good, speech which never lies, and the disposition which welcomes all that happens. Time is a river of things that become. No sooner is a thing seen than it is swept away, and something else is being carried past, and still another thing will follow. Do not say, I am unfortunate because this has happened to me. Say instead, I am fortunate because I endure. Something of this sort could happen to any man, but not every man can endure it. From Book 5. I know a man who, when he does good deeds, he does not even know what he's done. He's like a vine which produces grapes and seeks nothing. This man does good and then turns to the next task, as the vine turns to produce grapes again and again in due season. One should therefore be among those who do good, in a sense unconsciously. We should pray for something which is good for the whole community and not only for ourselves. We should not pray in fear, but be ready to accept whatever is sent because it's best for all. Let us accept those happenings, even though they are harsh, but welcome them, hoping. Welcome all of what happens because it leads to the health of the universe. You must therefore welcome with love what happens for two reasons. First, it happens to you because it is prescribed for you from above. Secondly, it causes the well being of the whole. Do not give up in disgust and impatience if you do not succeed in acting from right principles. Return to your principles after taking a fall. Love that which you are returning. The delight of pleasure deceives us. There is more delight found in high mindedness, freedom, simplicity, and piety. Every judgment we make is fallible. Consider the things themselves, how short lived they are. Man finds it hard to tolerate his own character. Your mind is dyed by your thoughts. To pursue what is impossible is madness. What happens to you happens also to another. What brings no harm to the community does not harm its members. The infinity of the past and the future time is a chasm in which all things vanish. Surely it is foolish for men to be puffed up in the midst of this. We shall all very soon be ashes or dry bones. The things much honored in life are vain, corruptible, and of no importance. Achieve good with a just disposition and just actions. Limit desire. From Book 6. The best method of defense is not to become like your enemy. Many love applauses, yet the praise of the multitude is only a clacking of the tongues. Those who seek glory or physical pleasures depend on external stimulants and circumstances not within their control. We work together of what comes to be in the universe. Death is the rest from contradictions of sense perception, from being jerked like a puppet by the strings of desire, from the mind's analysis and the service of the flesh. Do not become Caesarized. Treasure simplicity, goodness, purity, dignity, justice, piety, kindness, graciousness, and strength for your appropriate duties. This earth's existence produces only one harvest, a goodly disposition. The whole of our present age is a point in eternity. All things are small, changeable, vanishing. Every kind of evil deed is only a thorn in eternity. He who sees the present has seen everything, all that has come to pass, all that will be. For everything is akin and the same. All things in the universe are linked to one another, interwoven in harmonious sympathy. What of each of the stars? Are they not different, yet cooperate to the same end? Change your course and aim to feel content, making use of the obstacle to attain another virtue. Time will hide everything. How many things have already been hidden? Book 7. Do you not divert your attention to the directing mind of others? Look straight ahead. Your actions are significant, but the circumstances in which they take place have no significance. Pain is neither unendurable nor everlasting. Remember, pain has limitations. Do not add to your pain in your thoughts. Book 8. Dispel vainglory. Abandon thoughts of future reputation. Be satisfied to live whatever remains of your life as your nature demands. You know from experience in how many directions you have wandered. You did not find a good life anywhere, not in reasoning, not in wealth, not in reputation, not in pleasure. I found it nowhere that men normally look. Where then is the good life found? It is found in doing what nature requires and holding fast to the doctrine that directs desires and actions. Nothing is good which does not make men just, temperate, brave, and free. Evil is the opposite of these. Do not care for so many things that you are enslaved by them. Be unperturbed, for all things are in accord with the nature. Pay attention to the matter at hand. Only act with kindness, reverence, and sincerity. Everything changes, so novelty should not cause you to fear. The right road does not ascend to that which is false or what is obscure. The straight path limits the desires and aversions and welcomes whatever is allotted. For what purpose were you born? For pleasure? Consider whether this idea can be maintained. What door is right? You would rather become good tomorrow than be good today. You must build your life deed by deed, accept without conceit, and relinquish without reluctance. Performance of an antisocial act tears you away from the unity which you have been born. A wrongful act cuts you off. However, you may make yourself one with it again. It is not imagination that disturbs you. All kinds of troubles are likely to happen in the future or have happened in the past. It is not the future or the past which should concern you. Only the present is your concern. There is no value in opposition to justice. Self control opposes pleasure. Different people find joy in different things. I rejoice in my directing mind. I look upon everything with kindly eyes, accepting and dealing with each thing on its own merit. If your distress is due to something in your own attitude, who can prevent you from creating your doctrine? A mind free from passion is a citadel. A bitter cucumber, throw it away. Brambles on the path, walk around them. That is sufficient. Do not go on to say, why do such things exist in the world? All wickedness is harmful only to a wicked man. Men are born for each other's sake. So either teach people or endure them. From Book 9, we are rational creatures for each other's sake. So we should benefit each other as each deserves, but never injure each other. Inferior men often enjoy pleasures and possess the means to tame them. The pleasure seeker will not refrain from wrongdoing. A sinner sins against himself. The wrongdoer wrongs himself by making himself evil. Evil earthly things sink towards the earth. If you can, teach them better ways. If you cannot, remember that you were granted kindliness for this purpose. Today I left the troubles that surrounded me, or rather, I cast them out. For they were not outside, but within me, in my assumptions. The wrong done by another leaves with him. When someone blames you or hates you, observe what kind of person they are. You will see that you need not be anxious by what they think. Reflect on the waves of change and their swift passing. The cause of all things is like a torrent sweeping everything along. How puny are public influencers, believing themselves wise and practical. They are like children with running noses. Simply do what nature requires and don't look to another to know what they do about it. Consider lives lived by others long ago. Consider yet those to come. How many do not even know your name? How many people that know your name now will soon forget it? Reflect that neither remembrance nor fame is worthwhile. How short is the time between birth and death? How vast time is before your birth. How equally infinite the time after your dissolution. All things you see will soon decay, and those who witness this will soon themselves decay. The ones who die in extreme old age will be in the same position as one who dies before his time. Loss is none other than change. These things have happened from eternity to eternity. Either all things come from one intelligent source and happen as one body, or else things are atoms and nothing but a melody and a dispersal. Feel more kindly towards the wrongdoer who exists. Let gentleness be the antidote. There is nothing strange about a stupid man behaving stupidly. Aren't you at fault for not believing that he would act the way he did? Your intelligence gave you every reason to expect that he would probably err in this way, yet you forget this and wonder why he acted as he did. When you reproach a man for his disloyalty or ingratitude, turn your thoughts upon yourself, for it is clearly your fault that you trusted them, knowing their natural inclinations. Does the eye seek some reward for seeing, or the feet for walking? Just as the eye and foot act in accordance to their makeup, so man is and acts in accord to his makeup. Book 10. Will you ever, my soul, be good? Will you ever be fully satisfied? Observe closely your nature as a living being governed by nature. Do not concern yourself with what is not your business. Remember that it is within your power to endure anything. Teach kindly and show a person what he overlooked. Whatever befalls you was prepared for you from the eternities. We are a part of a whole and related to all other parts. Direct my every impulse to the common good. If you should forfeit any virtue, return to them quickly. Do not discuss the question of what is a good man. Be one. The lords of the earth, in their powerful official positions, have the same physical needs as another man. From what small beginnings noteworthy things arise. Things that happen now have happened before, and they will happen again. Every performance will have the same scenery, with only difference being the actors. When you are vexed at another's wrongdoing, stop and consider what similar wrong you are committing. Life is mere smoke. Why be anxious? Why not be satisfied to spend this short life in a decent manner? Who is there to prevent you from being good and simple? What is the sane thing you can do or say? Whatever it is, do it or say it. Do not make excuses as if you were being prevented. A healthy mind should be prepared for all that happens. No one is so fortunate that they will not have some calamity. From Book 11. A branch cut off from its neighboring branch must necessarily be cut off from the whole tree. So a man who serves himself falls away from the whole human community. Recognize your kinship with mankind and remain part of it, doing what good you can, but be not affected by beliefs of the minority or the majority. Someone displeases me. That's his concern. My concern is what I do and say. Will I hate him? Will I hate me? What is his concern? But I'm kind and friendly to everyone. My inner disposition is to not be angry at anything or to complain about suffering. You frequently err yourself and are the same as they are. You are not even sure they are doing wrong, for certain things are done as part of a plan. It's not their actions which annoy me, but my own conception. It is the gentleman, not the one who is angry, that is in the position of strength. Anger is a sign that one is wounded and has yielded to that wound. From Book 12. We respect our neighbor's ideas about us more than we respect ourselves. You are within you something stronger and more divine than your passions, which rule you like a puppet on a string. How close is the kinship between man and the whole human race, for they are community. The intelligence of any individual is divine. Where is everything? They are, or soon will be, smoke and ashes, a legend, or not even that. How cheap all our efforts are. I have certainly not seen my soul, but I prize it. I prize the divine whose power I experience. From all this, I deduce these things exist. The light of the sun is one, although it is broken up by walls, mountains, and countless other things. There is but one intelligent soul, even though it appears divided, yet together by this oneness, its feeling of community is not broken. All our actions, therefore, must be directed towards the good of the community. The highest part of the soul is human reason, a fragment of Logos, that divine reason which directs the universe and can only be understood symbolically as the gods. What a small clod of the whole earth you creep on. Act as nature urges you and endure what nature allots you. Live and act according to nature. Accept your lot. Recognize the purpose of the universe and serve it willingly. Accept new circumstances and adapt to them without resentment. Until next time, vaya con Dios.